What's happening, Sweatlodgers? So today is Wednesday. Uh, we started off with chest, then we did legs, because we did legs twice last week. And I didn't get enough rest over the weekend, so we pushed it to Tuesday. Today was back. Tried a new trap exercise that a new friend Joey had given me, and it was a good burn. So today what I wanted to talk about is predictable outcomes. It seems like the days that I show up at the gym where I'm the least motivated, I'm only here because I know I got to get in there, and I could just check it off the list and say, okay, I did it. And hopefully, tomorrow or the next cycle, I'll be excited about it. Oddly enough, those high percentage of those being some of my better workouts. Just get in and, grind on it, either, capture some thoughts or maybe a song kicks it off. And then the next thing I know, I'm in a good rhythm. And then I'm like, well, if I'm here, I might as well push myself. And like I said, more often than not, probably 60-70% of the time, they end up being some of my better workouts. So kind of what I wanted to bring to you all today was, there's a theme here. Don't skip leg day. Keep showing up. You got nothing to lose. I mean, if you come in and you have a bad day in the gym, you had a bad day in the gym. At least you showed up and you moved. Whether you thought it was great or not, the mobility, the movement, the blood flow, as long as you don't hurt yourself, then your body's going to count it as a victory, whether your mind does or not. So I would say focus on predictable outcomes and take note of it. See if your experiences are similar to mine, where the days where you thought you might have melded in, or you were just there, nothing creative, nothing exciting, maybe no victories gained. I think you might be shocked if you dig in a little deeper and look at those outcomes over time. For the young folks, you're at the beginning of your journey. You don't have a lot of history to store upon. For the older folks, you didn't get out of shape overnight. That happened over years or maybe even decades. So it's not like you're going to turn that tide around, in days and weeks. What took years and decades, one direction, it's hard to turn it around in days and weeks the other direction. You can certainly turn it around in months. I'm a walking example of that. Like 18 months later, I'm very different physically than I was 18 months ago. And I don't even consider myself in really good shape. It's the best shape I've ever been in my life, but it's not where I'd like to be. So predictable outcomes, keep looking for measuring, evaluating, making sure that you're actually moving in your progression of time to the goal that you've set. If you don't have a goal set, as I've spoken about before, just pick one. And when you achieve that goal, pick the next one. And realize that most of the fun is in the journey, especially for dudes. Getting there is, then you're like, oh, what now? But if you get to embracing the suck and enjoying the journey, you have a lot more joy in your life. And, this ties into how you think of yourself, who's your master, where's your identity come from, who are you hanging with, how are you contributing into your community. These things all tie together. And, the adage that the rising tide lifts all boats, I think that applies to us, physically, emotionally, intellectually. It's like, as you start lifting up one area, it makes you notice other areas that you're deficient in, And to my previous message of being humble, ask for help. There's plenty of people on pick whatever social media or platform or whatever room you're dialoguing in that will give you a hard time or critique you. And they're just throwing shade because they don't like their own lives. It's really not about you. The only fair comparison is you to a previous version of you. Two people are just too different. It's a bad measurement. But you comparing yourself to you yesterday or last week or last month or last year, that's a fair comparison. So stick at it. Don't skip leg day. Get in there. If fitness is not your thing, you probably should make it your thing, because a healthy temple will make for a strong mind. But whatever it is you're focused on, just keep showing up, keep putting in the work, and measure it over time, and you'll be shocked. As I started this session with it, the days where you didn't expect a really good outcome, you'll be shocked how many times it was a lot better outcome than you expected or maybe even deserved, and certainly that you anticipated. So enjoy the rest of your week.